Hello everyone, welcome to episode number 16 of Mrs. Bale's book list. I'll be reviewing Catching a Storyfish by Janice and Harrington. I love to find unique things for kids to read. I'll be the first to admit that I never felt super jazzed to read poetry as a kid. I thought it was all very deep. I wanted to read for fun. If I had to think too hard about what the author was trying to say, it kind of took the fun out of it for me. At least it did at that age. What I didn't know was that I was probably never handed, or never thought to seek out, poetry as a means of telling a story. In other words, a novel in verse. What I've discovered in the creative writing class that I have been teaching is that kids do get really jazzed to read novels in verse. Why? They're faster than reading a typical prose novel. Literally faster. There are significantly fewer words on the page. They can defy the laws of writing and therefore are less intimidating. And also, again, quicker. And they're more consistent with the way we think inside our heads. Full sentences aren't necessarily required. It makes the narrator relatable in that way. And the third reason is that they pack an artistic punch. Even reluctant readers catch themselves rereading small sections taken by the way the words perfectly captured the way the character was feeling, or perhaps the way they themselves have felt. And since it's written in verse, it's easy and non-intimidating to reread it. From the teaching or parenting perspective, all of these are valuable reasons to expose kids to novels in verse. So let's talk specifically about Catching a Storyfish, the sweet novel in verse by Alabama native Janice Harrington. This story is told from the perspective of a middle school girl called Keat, whose nickname is derived from the word parakeet because of how much she loves to talk. Keat loves to tell stories, true stories, made-up stories, anything flowing through her mind. But when Keat's family moves away from Alabama, she finds herself more uncertain than she's ever been. Her classmates make fun of the way she talks, and no one smiles at her. She's losing her voice. The one person who can boost Keat's spirits is her beloved grandfather, who's quick with jokes and compares everything in life to fishing. But one day, Keat's grandfather has a stroke. Keat barely recognizes the man she most admires without his cheerful spirit. As Keat and Grandpa face and overcome these challenges together, Keat rediscovers who she really is and realizes how she can impact others with her voice. This book is ultimately about the power of storytelling. I'm in love with it because I was a kid who loved to tell stories through writing. Shocking, I know. I also adore how the book depicts both Keat and her new friend Allegra, sharing their time with Grandpa as he slowly recovers from his stroke. Intergenerational quality time is a precious thing that I hope more children see the value of, especially as they get into that middle school and high school realm when their priorities are so focused on school and friends. The intergenerational relationship in this story sends a positive message in that regard. I think this would particularly encourage kids who do enjoy writing to fan their flames and help them see the power there is in sharing their voices through writing and storytelling. It will also expose students to fun new ways of writing, which will likely fuel their own creative juices. It lends itself to lots of extension activity possibilities. Here are the appropriateness factors. Romance and sexual content, none. Violence, none. Language, none. And alcohol and drug content, none. Happy reading. Thank you so much for listening today. As always, you can find show notes and the web version of Mrs. Bale's book list at KristenEmilyBale.com. That's Kristen with an E and Bale with a B-E-H-L. May God bless your day.